Have you ever felt the faint echo of a life you haven't lived? It's not a loud regret, but a whisper in the quietest moments. A phantom of the person you could have been, if only things had been slightly different. It's a haunting feeling, a creeping unease that the clock is ticking, and the script you're performing from wasn't entirely written by you. A few days ago, I witnessed a small scene that captured this vast human tragedy. A man spent nearly half an hour explaining, justifying, and seeking approval from someone in whose eyes he had already ceased to exist. Every word he spoke wasn't a bridge connecting them, but another brick he personally removed from the wall of his own self-respect. It was the erosion of a soul, happening in real time. That scene is not rare. It unfolds in boardrooms, on late-night phone calls, and in the silent echo of messages left unread. It exists in every instance we make ourselves a little smaller to let someone else feel bigger. Every time we say, "It's okay," when we are, in fact, breaking apart inside. They told you that you lack confidence, but that was never the whole truth. The truth is far more complex. You don't lack confidence. You were trained to suppress it. Society, in its subtle ways, taught us to be predictable, manageable, and low friction. We learn to over-apologize for our own existence, over-explain our boundaries, and overlook our own standards for fear of inconveniencing others. Stoicism, a philosophy born from the chaos of ancient Greek and Roman empires, offered a startling truth. You always have full control over one inviolable kingdom, your mind. Your judgments, your choices, your actions are your own. Epictetus, a man who was once a slave yet possessed a mind freer than any emperor, called this the dichotomy of control. So the real question isn't, who is holding me back? But rather, what am I still handing over that belongs to me? My time, my attention, my peace of mind. Today, we will not speak of motivational platitudes. We will explore the timeless principles, the core laws of an unstoppable presence, which you can begin to practice from this very moment. The journey inward begins with a quiet rebellion, not against the world, but against the weaker version of yourself, the one programmed to seek permission from the outside. Imagine you are a sculptor, and your life is an uncarved block of marble. Within that stone exists a masterpiece, the truest and most powerful version of you. But there is another voice, an inner saboteur, that whispers you aren't good enough, that you should leave the stone untouched, that the chiseling will be too painful. Every morning you wake, you choose which tool to pick up. Every decision, no matter how small, is a strike of the chisel, either shaping the masterpiece or further cracking the stone. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor who wrote his meditations in a military tent amidst bloody wars, reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Power isn't in controlling the storm, but in building a ship strong enough to withstand it." Try a simple yet profound 5-minute practice. Take a piece of paper and draw 2 columns. On the left, list behaviors that shrink you. On the right, behaviors that strengthen you. Be brutally honest. The left column might read, apologizing too much, delaying difficult conversations, saying yes when I mean no. On the right, write the replacements. State my boundary once, calm and firm. Make a decision within 24 hours. Say no without guilt, without an essay of explanation. This exercise is not about words on paper. It is the process of reprogramming the voice you have fed for years. It's about taking back the authority you have been unconsciously giving away. Because every time you bend too far, you teach the world that your standards don't matter. And every time you enforce a boundary, you teach yourself that your worth is non-negotiable. Here's a one-line rule that will change everything. Never be kinder to a stranger than you are to yourself. Most of us are ruthless with our own hearts, yet gentle with everyone else's demands. That ends now. When you feed the right self, you stop apologizing for existing. You begin to walk into rooms with a quiet certainty. And when you do that, people notice, they respect. They listen. Not because you shouted louder, but because you finally spoke with the voice of truth. This new self needs a sanctuary, a fortress. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. For many, it's chaos. Every criticism cuts too deep. Every setback feels like a personal attack. But your emotions were never meant to drive the car. They were meant to provide information, data, nothing more. Anger is not a command to attack. It is a signal that a boundary has been crossed. Pain is not a punishment. It is proof that someone has revealed their true nature. Fear is not weakness. It is the edge of growth calling you forward. This is the essence of the fortress mind. A mind that doesn't shatter under pressure, but uses pressure to sharpen its vision. Think of Marcus Aurelius, an emperor at war, surrounded by betrayal, plagues, and endless battles. Yet he wrote to himself, "The wise man acts in the present, shaping the future." He didn't waste time complaining. He processed, he observed, then he acted. That is a fortress mind at work. Or look at a modern example, Warren Buffett. Markets crash, billions evaporate in hours. But he doesn't panic. He waits, he studies, and he strikes when everyone else is ruled by fear. So here is your training. When life shakes you, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this teaching me?" A friend betrays you. Lesson: trust must be earned, never given blindly. Your boss criticizes you unfairly. Lesson: their words reveal them, not you. You fail at a project. Lesson: the system must be improved, not abandoned. Every event is raw material for wisdom. Nothing is wasted unless you choose to waste it. Building a fortress mind doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being owned by feelings. You still feel, but now, emotions serve you instead of enslaving you. Most people live in glass castles. One insult, one failure, and everything collapses. You will build stone walls, steel gates, and towers of perspective. When the storms come, and they will, you will still be standing. From the ramparts of this fortress, you learn a new language: silence. The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest. He talks because he's nervous. He explains because he's uncertain. He argues because he's desperate for validation. You will be the opposite. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is power. When you stop explaining yourself, something shifts. People begin to respect you more. They stop questioning your decisions. They stop testing your boundaries because they realize you don't need their approval. Think about it. Do the most influential leaders you know constantly explain themselves? They do not. They make decisions and move forward. Machiavelli once wrote, "The lion does not need to roar to be respected. Silence makes you intriguing." When people can't read you easily, they assume you know something they don't. Silence gives you an influence you never even claimed. But here is the key. When you do speak, your words must carry weight. Because you have been selective, people listen carefully. Picture this. Someone accuses you unfairly. The common reaction is to rush to self-defense. Instead, you simply look at them, calm, unmoved. Or someone demands an answer you don't want to give. The weak response is to explain endlessly. You say one word, "No," or someone stirs drama, hoping to bake you. The weak response is to dive in. You simply walk away. And what happens? They are confused by your calm. They reveal their true character while you remain untouchable. Your silence also protects you from regret. How many people have destroyed relationships, careers, and reputations because they could not stop talking, because they reacted instead of observing? Not you. You will fill the room with your presence, not with your noise. Let others shout. You will master silence, and through it, command respect. But no fortress is ever left untested. Life will test you in the cruelest ways. Your closest friend may betray you. Your business partner may choose money over loyalty. Someone you trust may let you down when the stakes are highest. Most people collapse under disappointment. They replay conversations in their minds. They ask, How could this happen to me? They waste months searching for reasons instead of using the lesson. You will be different, because disappointment is not a wound. It is information. It is a revelation of character. It is the truth stripped bare. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold. Adversity tests strong men. Every setback is proof that life is refining you, not destroying you." Think about Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper because his editor said he lacked creativity. Most men would have quit. Disney turned that humiliation into the fuel that built an empire. Or consider Steve Jobs, who was fired from his own company. Instead of breaking, he started again and years later returned to transform Apple into one of the most powerful companies in the world. When betrayal strikes, don't waste energy on anger. Ask, what did this reveal about them? What system must I change so this doesn't happen again? When failure hits, don't sink into shame. Ask, what weakness in my process just surfaced? How do I rebuild it stronger? Sometimes the right response is clean distance. No explanations, no second chances. Just remove them like poison from the body. Other times, the right move is patience. File away the betrayal, remember it, and wait for the perfect moment to turn their weakness into your advantage. Either way, you win. Because setbacks are not curses. They are evidence you are rising. No one envies the man stuck at the bottom. People only betray when you've become someone worth envying. So wear every disappointment as a badge of honor. Let it sharpen you. Let it harden you. Let it forge you. This forged strength finds its ultimate expression not in words, but in deeds. Weak men argue with their critics. They defend, they explain, they beg to be understood. And every word they waste gives their enemy power. You will not make that mistake. Because the truth is this: your critics are not your problem. Your response to them is your problem. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if they know not what they are talking about. Why debate people who have never built, never endured, never achieved? Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Millions mocked, hated, and booed him. He didn't waste energy arguing. He answered with goals, with trophies, with records that speak louder than any insult. Excellence ends arguments. Results close mouths. Success transforms doubt into envy. Here is your rule. Every minute you spend debating is a minute stolen from building. Every hour wasted on defending is an hour you could have invested in growth. So choose the better weapon. Don't talk, deliver. Don't argue, execute. Don't explain. Win. As you rise higher, your critics will not vanish. They will multiply. But so will your results. And when your results are undeniable, criticism becomes irrelevant. The man who builds an empire does not argue with someone who has never laid a single brick. You must decide. Will you play the game of noise or the game of results? Let your work speak. Let your actions echo. Over time, your actions will cast a shadow that precedes you. It enters a room before you do. It speaks louder than any introduction. It shapes how people treat you before a single word is spoken. That shadow is your reputation. Most men leave it to chance. But you, if you seek respect, will take control. People will decide who you are based on what they see long before they understand what you do. So what do they see when you enter? A man hunched, apologetic, hesitant. Or a man who walks with calm certainty, who moves with purpose, who stands as if he belongs everywhere he goes. Your reputation is not an accident, it is a tool. Stand with presence, shoulders back, eyes steady. Speak with weight, fewer words, a lower tone, a slower pace. And be consistent, the same man in private as you are in public. Never forget, mystery is magnetic. Don't tell everyone your plans. Let them wonder. Because once your reputation is solid, it protects you even in your absence. This reputation, this fortress, this silence, it is all built on one indispensable foundation: daily discipline. Excellence is not an event. It is a habit, a ritual you carry into every single day. Most men think excellence appears only in big moments. But the truth is, excellence is built in the unseen hours, when no one is clapping, when it would be easier to choose comfort. Think of Kobe Bryant. The world saw the championships, but what created them? The 4 workouts, the thousands of shots taken in empty gyms, the relentless choice of discipline over comfort. Each day, identify the one task you least want to do and do it first. That single habit will rewire your mind to obey purpose, not feelings. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort makes you predictable. Predictable makes you manageable. And manageable men are forgotten. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you forge strength. Every time you choose action over excuse, you prove to yourself that you are in control. And then, piece by piece, through discipline, through transformed setbacks, through powerful silence, you become something new. To be unstoppable does not mean nothing ever hurts you. It means nothing can break you. You still feel pain, but it does not own you. You still face fear, but it does not cage you. You still hear criticism, but it does not shape you. The unstoppable man is free. Free from the need for approval, free from the weight of other people's opinions, free from the chains of his own excuses. Look at Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison. Most men would have emerged broken, bitter. He walked out stronger, a leader, unstoppable. Or think of Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps. He lost everything. Yet he discovered this truth. The last of the human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given circumstance. That is what it means to be unbreakable. For you, this means no more waiting for permission. No more hoping the world recognizes your worth. No more shrinking so others feel comfortable. The unstoppable man chooses his mission and moves. He builds while others complain. He rises while others quit. Yes, people will test you. They will look for cracks. They will press every button they can find. Let them. They will exhaust themselves against a wall they cannot move, because you have built the identity, the fortress mind, the silence, the strength, the discipline. You are not who you were. You are who you decide to be every single day. The world doesn't hand respect to anyone. You claim it by how you show up, especially when nobody is clapping. From this moment on, you do not explain yourself to people who disrespect your standards. You do not hand your day over to emotion. You do not outsource your identity. You will be challenged, perhaps in the next hour. Someone will test the old you. Breathe, observe, and choose. One calm boundary, one decisive action, one hard task done first. That is how unstoppable begins. Not with noise, but with a single disciplined act. This journey has no final destination. It is a continuous practice. And the true power lies in that practice, in choosing to be the architect of your own soul, day after day after day.